Live to Yarn Another Day, the cozy corner where yarn tangles, mysteries unravel, and every stitch has a story.
Today we're diving into another crafty adventure filled with suspense, small town charm, and just enough twist to keep your needles clicking late into the night. Grab your favorite project, settle in with something to drink, and let's unravel this mystery together.
We're going to kick off this week's episode with some finished objects. So I have none other than this super cute top knot baby hat by the design is Soho, I believe, and super cute. Now, in all things that are me, I didn't get this done in time for the baby shower, and I did finish it up in time for book club, which is where I was going to see the expecting mother. And then I didn't go to book club because, well, my youngest wanted to go play baseball. And so who was I to say no? So we went and baseballed. Yep. I have a couple other videos that were shot by previous Jen. And so I'm going to insert them here. Hi. Okay. We are going to be getting ready to head out and give this my most recently finished nail as a gift. And I could wait, but I don't want to, so I want to get this filmed so that I have a little segment for my next Live to Yarn Another Day. So this is, what is this one called? Shoot, Nana. So this is Nana's visit, and I want to just show you. Okay, so I am using, I believe this was like silver lining, and this is, I had dyed a gradient of grays, and it was like silver lining, and then I went to dark side. But this was a darker gray than silver lining. Okay, so it's an interesting construction. I was thinking, oh, the cloak, and I started the hat thinking, oh, I'm using this magenta color. No, or the pink is Razzle. And, I just was like, that's fine. We'll deal with it. But so, like, I had to start over with the hat. The one thing I'm a little frustrated with is I wasn't really, it's been a while since I've done stranded color work. So it definitely pulls. Can you? So it pulls in. I should have been more wary. This took me forever to do, and it shouldn't have. But there was something about, like, it's a smaller gnome, and yet it still took me a really long time. I want to say it took a couple weeks, but I am obsessed with it. Will I make it again? I don't know. But I love how we did like this embroidery. That's not actual embroidery. Um, these are it's created by using slip stitches. Um, I just love how it turned out. So I'm super excited for this one. It is going to be going to its new home, and they've already seen a picture of it. But I hope it brings them joy. All right. So for this segment, I have two FOs. I have Nicole and Naughty. Now, both of these gnomes are patterns in the Gnomes of Grimblewood. And for those of you who are kind of joining me on this journey of trying to find my knitting mojo or get my knitting mojo back, you'll have hopefully seen my Knit a Gnome with Me in a week segments.
And so Nicole shouldn't be a surprise to you. However, naughty, I just finished this morning. So these two are going to a great couple of friends. These will probably live on a shelf, might be behind things. I don't know. Nicole may or may not want these to be like front and center on a shelf, but they're so cute. I love the cable detail of this hat. So this is Charles. So this is Charles, right? Um, and it's just it's one of my favorite blue colorways. I think I've made a couple different things, or I made a shawl with it. But I have these two gnomes done. For those of you who have been waiting patiently for my knit a gnome with me in a week segments, hopefully you will not have to wait long. Although you may not see this until later. It kind of depends. But we're making progress. I am still determined to get my knitting mojo back, and this is one way that I am working on doing that. The other way is casting on a sweater that I don't need to cast on. Okay. I also made this cute little noodles and forgot to record a segment talking about it. All right, so I've shown you what I've completed, and now it's time to show you what I've been working on. So around February or March, it's a combination. So my sister-in-law sent me a picture of a finished sweater she made. She made it like no pattern. She just did the thing. She just knit. It's amazing. And a coworker of mine always rocks these hand knit sweaters, and I love it. And we bond over it, and it's great. And she was wearing one, and I'm like, I need to make a sweater. And so I kind of went through and I was like, what should I make? What should I make? I realized I was like, I want to make something that's sport weight instead of fingering weight, because it is that happy medium between like DK is just too heavy or bulky. Like I have a bulky sweater that I'm like, I don't want this anymore. I'm ripping it out. I'm going to come up with something else for that yarn or over dye it. I don't know. I don't know yet. We'll see. Anyway, I decided I really want to make a sweater. So I found the Winterfell cardigan, which in the back of my mind, I'm like, I think this was like a wildly popular thing. So I cast on, and this is almost done. I cast on the Winterfell cardigan. I had to rip back because I messed up this part. And like I'm almost done with this sleeve, and then I have one more sleeve to do, and then I'll do the button band, and then like done. So I'm like really close to being done on this sweater, but the baby hat got in the way, and then I haven't been doing working on anything else. And then the other thing I've worked on, because mind you, the last time I did one of these was November. I did this sometime I think it was in December. I sat down and I just worked away on it, and then I set it down and I haven't picked it up since. Because the sweater, right? So, but those are my current whips. Other than that other West Knits one, that it kind of makes me nervous because I'm on that like there's this really long skinny piece that like I'll rip it out because I forget where I'm at, and then I'll knit, and then I put it down and then I don't work on it. So maybe I'll work on that. I really want to knit sometime this weekend. But you know, when you have other stuff between gardening and trying to refresh my home, um, this stuff gets pushed to the side, and I probably should figure out a way to like be like, no, you need to intentionally sit down and do some knitting. So where's the mystery? Well, my big mystery right now is where the heck is my knitting mojo? How do I find my knitting mojo? And how do I keep it? I thought I had a great solution when I was doing all of the gnomes. And those aren't even the ones I kept. They're ones I gifted all of the ones that I made. And that might be part of it, is maybe I need to make one for myself. But, you know, when I powered through and I finally finished them, and then I started my Winterfell cardigan, which I love, I I knit so much. And so I was like, yes, I finally have found my knitting mojo. I'm knitting during basketball games. I'm knitting during baseball games. I'm knitting all the time, knitting, getting to knit at work. And then somewhere in between working on the sleeve and working on the baby hat, I lost it. I didn't feel, I was like, I don't want to. And part of that could be, I'm having to do, it's spring, so gardening stuff starts to happen. I needed to start pulling weeds. So then I was kind of tired and I didn't, my hands would get achy and I didn't feel like doing it. So that could be part of it. Sleeve island could also be the problem. We know that I don't love to knit sleeves. So I have a short sleeve sweater. But we gotta figure this out. I need to figure this out. I want to figure out, you know, a solution. So I'm gonna keep trying different things. Uh, I may try and switch to one of my whips that's been languishing, um, just to see if maybe I try something else. It'll be a little refresher and be like, oh, okay, now let's go back to this one, or maybe I'll cast on something new. I do love going through the scraps and finding yarns that I can pair together for the perfect gnome for whichever person I'm making it for. And that is something that I do need to do. I don't know if I'll do it this weekend, but I think that's my plan. I'll try and do that, and I'll report back and see if we've made any progress on finding my knitting mojo. So that's all I have for you today. Thank you for tuning in and watching. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers or mother-like figures in our lives. We appreciate you. I appreciate you. And thanks for watching.